If you're considering being a coach, watch this. There are a few considerations. I know that some people that I work with in public speaking coaching have that as their back end offering of their talk. Other people want to go into coaching and they have some reservations because they say anyone can be a coach. It's oversaturated. I'm going to break down what a coach is and what similar things are. So we're going to go over coaching, consulting, therapy, mentorship, and guiding. So let's break it down. When it comes to being a coach, you are very future focused. You are asking powerful questions, creating a plan of action, and asking the right questions that allows the person that you're coaching to come to their own conclusions of their own self-knowing, which is really great for building self-confidence and not creating an over-reliance on you. So for example, a public speaking coach may help you fine-tune which topic you want to talk about, help build your confidence, and give you the skills to go out and source your own speaking opportunities. A consultant uses their specific expertise to solve specific problems. So, a consultant can have a background in academia, but more than likely it is empirical. It is lived experience that they bring to the table. This is going to result in direct action items, things that you are told and instructed to do to get the results you want. So, for example, a communications consultant might take a look at all of your messaging on your website and your social media, and even in recorded calls of your communication with potential clients, and give you a new roadmap of ways that you could tweak your messaging and your delivery to both get and retain more clients. Third is therapist. So this takes years of study and training. There, of course, is an emphasis on mental health and emotional well-being. And this is a highly regulated industry, unlike the other two that we just talked about. There tends to be a focus on going into your past experiences, so it may be less action oriented. It may be more processing oriented of the past that when you clear that stuff out effectively, it can help you move forward. One thing to be aware of is if you are in therapy for a very extended period and you feel you're not really going anywhere, that could be true because therapy isn't designed to solely give you an action plan to move forward. It's about processing trauma. And there are some traumas that can heal to an extent and sometimes we need to come up for air and decide that it's time to move on. But then there are other times where we're triggered and it can be helpful to dive back in. So you'll find what's best for you. I know in my own practice, because I'm not a therapist, I'm a coach, but I also definitely consult. Any of my clients ask them, they get action items every time we meet that are very clear. But if I have a client who is exhibiting mental health issues that are a bit out of my scope. Maybe they are considering something really serious, maybe suicidal ideation, or it could be severe depression where, let's say, they have trouble getting out of bed or that sort of thing. That's an opportunity to, as a coach, say, hey, I'd love to continue working with you. However, I'm going to request that you add a therapist to your support team before the next time we meet. So I'd love to keep our next time on the calendar, but this will be a necessary next step so that you can get the support you need and we can get more out of our work together. Three, a mentor. A mentor is all about sharing wisdom based on their past experiences. I like to think of mentors as kind of like a grandma relationship, where there's sort of a been there, done that perspective. There's, hey, like, I feel like you should do this. Or it's a little more off the cuff. And I can speak from my own experience of having a mentor when I was 11. Through the YMCA, I had a paraprofessional therapeutic youth mentor. I went on years later at 23 to become one myself. But in that experience, it really opened my eyes. I was able to hang out with this woman once a week. I was even at her 30th birthday watching over her kids to make a little extra money. And she modeled a really healthy lifestyle, a really vibrant can-do attitude. And being in her presence as my mentor and me as her mentee really taught me so much. And I can even say today, there are ways in which my lifestyle habits reflect what I saw her model over those really crucial years. Next up is guide. So many of us who are projectors in human design, look it up if you know, you know, may identify as, hey, I don't feel like I'm here to coach or tell people what to do. I'm here to guide. I'm here to simply let people know if they're walking in their highest truth and alignment and help guide them back on course if they're not. So, this can have spiritual connotations. However, not everyone is spiritual, but they can still be guided. In essence, it's someone who's walking beside you that isn't going to come off as perfect, but maybe they're also sharing a little bit more about their own life. And there's a bit more of a give and take, a back and forth to really solidify that connection. Whereas some of the other roles tend to be a little more hierarchical, right? Where a coach isn't necessarily going into their problems. However, something that I want to note that I didn't note already is it is very important that a coach be embodied in what they're teaching. You don't want to see a confidence coach getting flustered and red-faced in front of a crowd and then say, and I can help you public speak. That is out of integrity and out of alignment. However, a therapist, for example, could have really crappy relationships, but they have the knowledge, they can effectively help people process their relationship trauma. So there's a difference in terms of embodiment that is necessary depending on the path that you take. Back to guide, going back to the human design example, a guide in human design would be someone who knows the framework and has been studying it and can walk you through it. Because let's say you have not been studying human design for 7 years, but they have. Or let's say that you do not have a PhD in that topic, but guess what? They do. So they are able to almost not on autopilot, but in a way that feels like there's a lot of ease in it. They're able to really walk with you through your journey, similar to the mentor with the wisdom and everything, but it's a little less casual, it's more deep and soul led. And I'd like to know which one of these five do you resonate most with? And just know there's a chance that you resonate with all five, or maybe, two, three, however many, because there is a lot of gray area and overlap within this emerging coaching industry. And if you are wondering, but wait, should I call myself a coach? Like, for whatever reason, you're feeling some kind of way about it. Then, what I want to recommend is make it easier for the people to find you that want to find you. What are people searching for right now? Maybe they are searching for a coach, right? And if you call yourself a guide, you could be missing out on that SEO search engine optimization opportunity. An example of this is on Instagram. Well, I've gotten DMs with people asking about my services and they book a clarity call and we go from there. And I asked one day, hey, how did you, so I know you found me on Instagram, but like the step before that, how did you find me? And she said, well, I typed in confidence coach and you were in the search results. So I'm like, oh, okay. I say to myself, I have the word coach and the word confidence in my bio. So this is important across social media platforms. And she was searching for it, she found it, and we move forward from there. It's important sometimes to use language that is most commonly used in the context that you're in. So I urge you, be mindful of the different contexts that we discussed here. But if you are looking to be paid for your services, if this is your life path or a part of your expression, maybe as a public speaker that also knows that you're here to guide in, it could be an individual or a group coaching format, then getting comfortable with the word and really deciding that you're going to rise above. If anyone has a judgment of the word coach, like, oh, there are so many coaches, it's like, okay, it's about you building credibility and getting results. And any naysayers, whether it's external or internal, you're going to let that go. So we have a deal, and I'm excited for your journey of defining how you want to show up. And if you do decide to call yourself a coach, which at least at this current point in time, I do think that is beneficial from a marketing perspective for most people in the space, you can infuse messaging that touches on these other aspects of your coaching style. So that will, in essence, help the right people find you. All right, that's all I have for you for now. Wishing you a wonderful day. Until next time.